Hello, everybody. This is Ruby D, the Goddess Entrepreneur, Soul Speaker, Energy Therapist, Chakra Expert, and author of the Goddess Grind book series, focused on you becoming the best version of you in order to become mentally, emotionally, and energetically healthier, happier, and more peaceful. So today this evening, I wanted to discuss the journey from broken to heal and how it takes work. And honestly, even though it takes work, we can make that much more difficult than it has to be. And the reason I say that is because when you lack consistency, when you lack commitment, and when you don't follow through with your healing journey, you're basically just making it longer than it has to be. You're creating more problems and more issues than what you originally started with. And then you perceive it to be difficult, or you claim it as a struggle, when it's just like, well, that's pretty much your fault. But we're going to get into that. I really don't want to go too far into that because this isn't about blaming or anything. It's just honestly about being real with the healing journey and how not to make it more difficult for yourself than it really has to be. So I did share with you all, I think I shared it on here, like this past weekend, how I just made the decision to stop claiming that I was still in the process of healing. I'm like, no, I've actually evolved past that. I'm healed. I'm happy. I'm living my life peaceful. I'm living my life peacefully and pretty much on my terms. And now at this particular point, I have felt a huge shift in how I perceive things, how I manifest things, how I do things, how I enjoy my life much more. Not to say that I wasn't enjoying life before, but I'm just saying, when you really realize what it is that you're doing and you're not wanting to make it difficult for yourself, then you stop making it difficult for yourself. So, one of the first things that I wanted to discuss and how not to make this healing journey harder than what it has to be is, one, stop claiming struggles that you really don't want to claim. I mean, on this healing journey, you want to balance your chakras. You want to be happier. You want to live a more peaceful life. But you're always complaining about not having peace. And then you're always doing things that are not peaceful for you. You always want to talk about how people are always calling on you, asking for help. But then you don't even know how to say no. Because, for one, you're not making yourself and your mental, emotional, and energetic health a priority to you. So because you're not making it a priority to you, then you're making it more difficult than it has to be. And then when you're not consistently doing this, you are contributing to this process being longer than what it really has to be. So if you say, well, okay, I want to try meditation on my healing journey. It's like, okay, cool. Of course, you're going to go Google or go YouTube, what most people do, or get a very general idea of what meditation is, but not realizing that what you're researching and what you're pulling up may not even necessarily work for you. So when you try it the first time and the second time and maybe a third time, and then you realize that you really don't like doing this, of course you're not going to stay consistent with it. That's why anytime I speak with clients and they ask me, well, how do I balance my chakras? Or how do I, what can I do on my healing journey? And of course, I recommend meditation, but I always tell clients, wait a minute. Before you just go out here and think you're finna sit in a room in a dark corner, sitting Indian style with no music, with the lights turned off all by yourself, that might not be the best route for you to take. Because if that's not what you enjoy, you're not going to stick to it. You're not going to stay consistent, and it's not going to be effective for you. So, with that being said, I will ask clients, well, what is it that you like to do? What do you most enjoy doing? And depending on what that thing is, no, we're going to come up with a way to make that or transition that into a type of meditation for you. Because if it's something that you like and enjoy doing, you're doing it already. And because you're doing it already, we just have to tweak it a little bit, make it more effective for you and more beneficial, and you're going to stay consistent. And when you stay consistent, then it's going to become easier on your healing journey to make progress. So, that's another thing. Another way that people make healing more difficult than it has to be. Another thing that people do to make this particular journey more difficult than it has to be is actually not being honest with yourself. And when I say not being honest with yourself, what I'm referring to is, okay, if you are feeling a certain way about something, don't try to brush it off and be like, that's really not what it is. That's a lie. If you are feeling some type of way, triggered to any degree, I don't care if it's triggered very little or triggered on a larger scale, you're still triggered, period. And you have to acknowledge that particular trigger and what caused the trigger. Why? Don't be brushing stuff off like it's nothing. Because the more you brush off the little things, they're just going to compile and become bigger things. And now it's something else that you got to deal with amongst the larger things that you're already dealing with. And then you're prolonging the healing process. Okay? Stop doing that. It's not necessary. Stop making your healing journey more difficult and harder than it has to be. It's already not easy in the first place. I'm going to tell you that now. Because on my healing journey, it took some years. I'm not even going to lie. And for me, I don't have no kids. I know I didn't have as much as some people have right now as far as personal issues and family issues and other stuff that's going on. And for me, it was difficult. It was hard. Another way that you need to stop making this healing journey more difficult than it has to be is get some help. Ain't nothing wrong with getting some help. Now, what I will say is don't go out here and get the wrong help, because the wrong help is just going to push you quite a few steps back in your healing journey. And then not only do you have to work on what you were working on from the beginning, but also that. So be mindful of who you are choosing to work with. And when I say work with, I mean whether you're going to see a regular therapist, a counselor, a mentor, or someone like me. I'm an energy therapist. I focus on the energy. I focus on the chakras and energetic health, energetic trauma. Because if you're out here dealing with a mental illness, trust me, you are being affected emotionally. You are being affected energetically. And if you don't address that energetic piece, you can be out here thinking you good, but then the energy from that whole situation is still affecting you. And it's eventually going to manifest into mental again. And then from there, it's going to manifest into something physical because it's going to weaken your immune system. And then you're going to find yourself sick. So not only are you dealing with this trauma that you've experienced on a mental level, on an emotional level, now it's evolved into something physical because you decided to prolong your healing journey and to make it more difficult than it has to be. So I just wanted to go live, discuss that for a little bit. I'll actually be doing live audios more often. But if you have any questions about anything that I've discussed or about anything that you see on my page, feel free to reach out to me. You can send me a message via Facebook, or you can email me at info@thegoddessgrind.com. If you like to schedule a chakra consultation, I have those available. If you want to just learn more about the chakras and the different extended chakra systems, reach out to me about that. But I am Ruby D, the Goddess Entrepreneur, Soul Speaker, Energy Therapist, Chakra Expert, and author of the Goddess Grind book series. Thank you, Sherry. You're welcome. You are so welcome. Yeah, and I just wanted to remind you to meditate, hustle, and flow on your journey to becoming the best version of you, mentally, emotionally, and energetically. I will speak to you all next time. Peace.